Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Slay the Princess. We are getting somewhere, but as a reminder, this game is full of content that can be unsuitable for certain audiences. You know, the gore. And it's a horror game, so, it's a given sometimes. Also, some effects for motion sickness and seizures. So, let's load up our game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though. Can't someone else do this? Let's see, is there anything that we haven't done? Sweet. I've always wanted to off a monarch. Sure.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
I wonder which voice we're gonna get.
Who's there?
Ah, we're still getting a sultry voice.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still
Continuing
listening
down
to
the
reason.
stairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I thought I was gonna sneeze. What? No way. Okay, yeah. No, no, I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Still your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade, slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course it is. She's dead. Oh, those are knocked out, and we already did some of that.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Leave.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
What happened?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Sus. Okay. That's bullshit. Let me out of here. Okay. I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world. That's bullshit.
What's done is done, and there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Sounds like a painful existence.
Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy. Hell no. Do you have any ideas how to get us the heck out of here? Of course we are. I like it here. Hell no.
I do, but you're probably not going to like it.
Oh?
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Explore. Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead? Anything to get out of this hell. You're right. I didn't like the idea. I'm just going to stick around and do nothing, at least for a little while longer. Oh, I don't know. I feel like if I go down there, she's gonna kill me. But I feel like we're just gonna end up sitting in limbo. Anything to get out of this hell.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks. I killed myself. What am I doing here? I already killed the princess. You trapped me here after I slew her last time. I'm not gonna play along this time. Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now.
Tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone.
I keep thinking that there's going to be
Let's
something
not spend
different with the
much longer
mirror,
worrying
but there
over it.
really never is.
Clearly, it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance, two deep-set eyes stare up at you,
Sorry, I
followed
didn't mean
by
to
a
click that
mischievous
fast.
skeletal grin.
Can we... Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Okay. It's just as I told you, cold. Okay, that's the voice of the cold, just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Okay. Yeah, that's where we were. Okay.
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh.
Wow, how absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Slay the princess.
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
I should have really saw that coming.
You're adorable when you're confused.
Well, thank you.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
Sorry, consent is important. I'm sorry.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
If I knew I'd have to talk to you again, I wouldn't have slain you. I died too, and I'm not floating around like you are. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different? Stop playing the victim. You threatened me last time. Of course I attacked you. You're supposed to end the world. Why? That's why I killed you last time too. You're dead, or at least mostly dead. What can you even do to hurt me? What do you want from me? Okay, team, I'm out of ideas. Thoughts? Slay the princess harder. Fine, if I can't hurt you, then there really isn't anything for me to do here. I guess I'll be going. Leave her in the basement. I died too.
You don't look dead, Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
Me too.
I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you owe me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us?
I'm pretty sure. Grab the salt.
She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Yeah, I don't think so either. What if I say no? This would be temporary, right? You'll leave once you're out of the cabin. If I let you in, do I still get to be in control? Before I agree to anything, you need to talk about what's happened before you leave this place. I was told you to end the world. Sounds great. Do it. The answer's no. Return. I need to think on this. The answer's no.
I see. So that's how it's going to be. That makes me sad. I guess we'll have to fight then.
The princess passes through you,
a chill rippling along your skin, a disappointed sigh echoing in your ears. You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs. Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a translucent hand on your chest. It feels cold, but otherwise like nothing at all.
Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad? Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over, and we'll move on to something new. I feel like you all keep forgetting that.
Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to be.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head, sorrow replaced with wrath, staring into you with fiery anger.
But I guess you've turned me into something worse.
Poke. Poke, poke. Poke, 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 poke.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then...
Yes?
nothing happens.
Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine.
Did you miss? I'm not afraid of you. I'm gonna stare at her in silence. Step away. Stare at her in
You can't
silence.
be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor.
Say the princess.
You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too late. In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly.
Did we get her?
No, I don't think so, man.
Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
The Wraith? Okay.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again. Off to slay her. Again.
The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer. Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess.
Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves.
And why, pray tell, did you do that?
Depression! Seriously, if you feel like you need to do that, I implore you to seek help. You're not alone. Yeah.
Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us.
That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, that's a topic I don't like talking about because it's a reminder of certain things. But we're gonna move on after I drink my drink.
The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy.
Well, were you happy?
No.
Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful.
Yes, and then she killed us.
Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real.
We haven't seen anybody else. We've just seen the princess and the voices inside our heads. And we haven't even seen the voices inside our heads. We've just heard them.
Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish.
All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her.
And why would we help you? All you're going to do is lock us away forever again. Are you the same narrator we meet on the other loops? You were quickly to accept that we've been here before. We've killed her and been killed by her, and neither of those things have gone well for us. If we're going to fall through this loop forever, eventually we're going to let her out. We might as well do it now. What happens if we don't go to the cabin? That's another option. Proceed to the cabin. There's something else we haven't tried. Turn around and leave. We haven't tried that here. But I feel like we're just going to end up getting the same result. Are you the same
If I had to
narrator?
make a wager, I'd say yes and no. That's a hedge, not a wager. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate. So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
Oh, goodness. Proceed to the cabin.
Continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care.
It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
Are you trying to use reverse psychology on me? Enter the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us.
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Let's pretend there is a mirror at the end of the hallway, and that right now we can't see behind it. What's there? What's behind it?
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement? Don't you mean door? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. What are the odds she's waiting for us right behind it? If I were running a bullshit factory, it's what I'd do. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement. He can't see the mirror. The knife is gone, defying his expectations. Who the hell is calling the shots here? Nobody is calling the shots. That's how reality works.
Approach the mirror.
You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others.
I'm expecting a jump scare.
I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over.
You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
Wipe the mirror
Here we
clean.
go.
You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with a terrifying vision of
Jesus.
the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I mean, you could do that, but you're currently breaking one of my legs, and you kind of need that to walk. Thinking with your brain there, girl.
I say we let her do it. It's something different.
Do we even have a choice?
You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time.
Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade?
Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
Look, we're even now. I killed you, and then you killed me. Water under the bridge, right? I never wanted to hurt you. I don't even know how I got here. I'm a victim of all this too, you know. Wouldn't possessing me against my will make you no better than me? You don't have to be evil. You don't have to do this. Do you need to take my body? Can't I just open the door for you? That's fine. I actually came here to free you. Struggle. I'm a victim of this too, you know.
And sometimes victims become the same as their victimizers. Just because someone hurt you doesn't mean you get a free pass.
That's true.
You should be grateful that I still have a use for you. Being mine is more than you deserve, really.
Wouldn't possessing me against my will make you no better than me?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ego is all about perspective. After all you've done, why would I ever care about what you would think of me? Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle.
Okay.
Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake, eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. So cramped in here, like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know.
Oh? Well, what are you gonna come up with, cheated?
Don't help either of them. Flip the table. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss. Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
Throw your body into the abyss.
In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss. Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. It's unquestionable that her reserves are greater than yours, but fortunately for you, the distance you have to cover is far shorter. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always losing. It's just a step away. You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole. Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall. What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now? But I want to know what he thinks happens now. Oh? And why is that? But
Terminal velocity ceases, and you feel a something, a mass, a growth, torn out of you. You and the princess look at each other for a short moment.
What's happening to me?
Hands! But you don't answer her before she's gone, and you feel a resistance underneath your feet once more. Memory returns.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared this is the end for you, but it's not the end for me. It's going to be okay, just trust me, we've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. You don't need to comfort them.
It's not the end, whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side, it's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. So, this is all going to work out. Whatever makes you happy.
Approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. Interesting. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Do you think there are people out there? Do you think anything is real out there? Do you think we are real? Do you have thoughts on this vessel? Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken? When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessel had one? How many more vessels do I need to bring you? If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm going back. I'm going to stay. I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here forever if I have to. I'm ready to go back. How many more vessels? When you send me back, I'm not alone.
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him. He does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. You and I are finally going to have answers.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Feels like a riddle. Do you think there are people out there? Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, goodness. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I think we're gonna save her this time around.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah. No, I haven't decided yet. Just here to talk. What? No way.
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because it clicked really fast.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Relationship, are you coming on to me? How would I get you out of here? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Okay, we've talked enough. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
A relationship, are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here. Examine the chains.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas? Beside me cutting you out of here.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Turn to the bottom.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
So the princess, warn her. Oh wow, that's the only one that's... Okay.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Slay the princess, resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Enter the basement, because every time I look at the mirror, nothing changes.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You
Oh,
walk
damn.
downstairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here, leave the princess in the basement. Sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions, what do you mean? I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? The other chain on the wall, who's it for? What would you have me do? I think I'm just going to leave you here, actually. You're not much of a threat to anyone locked up like that. Bye! Slay the princess. The other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
You were asking about my intentions earlier. What do you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
What happened after I died last time? How am I supposed to cut you out if you don't notice your head is in a shackle too? If you didn't notice your head's in a shackle too?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. Just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I've been here before. What happened after I died? I'm not giving you a weapon. You realize that I have as much reason to just trust you as you have to just trust me. I'm not giving you a weapon. I can cut you out of there. I'm not giving you a weapon. I'm trusting you. If you want to leave, I'm going to be the one with the weapon. Deal with it. I think I'm just going to leave you. Okay, I'm trusting you.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
Do you think this will work? Interesting that you're only having us remain in place. It's almost like there are very real limits to your power.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The world ends if we fail, right? Her killing us might not be our only failure state, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going with this. Could you explain? Yes, explain it.
Sure, I'm insinuating that we could kill ourselves. Ruin this whole thing.
You wouldn't.
I'm not afraid of dying. Are you? A little. You got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor.
So there are quite literally limits to his power. So we're definitely getting close to the end of the game, because if I remember correctly, we had one more to go to give to the entity. Okay.
The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No!
Watch it on easy silence, I guess.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet.
Well, time to go bowling.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. Huh. So I guess that's it. What a way to go. But she is gone, isn't she? I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle? I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that. Look, I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of reason. She's left us with this dangling thread. I need to know why.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward.
Take the princess with you.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin. Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved. She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
Leave the cabin and claim your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone? But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Hands! But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Explore. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. What are you? Are you something like me? If you're not me, then what are you? I have so many questions for you. Does it hurt when pieces of you break like that? I'm sorry if I don't want to destroy you. I'm sorry I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away and stop asking questions? Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. Are you a part of me? Are you something else? Are you the one who wanted me to slay the princess? Why? I've met you many times. Have you been the same you all along? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I? What is this place? Where are we? I've met you many
I
times.
haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Every time I ask you something, it's like
I'm
a piece
aware.
of you breaks.
And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
If you're not me, then what are you?
I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Will it help if I
We've
look
already
away?
crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
The people out there beyond the walls of construction, do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do with them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
What is my
You're
truth?
the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
What is the princess?
She
Did you
is the
mention?
shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
Okay, so I'm at the end here. Death is actually
If that's your
important.
belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying.
Are you a god or were you a god?
In life, I was painfully mortal, a witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something, so I made you, and I made her, and I made this place to hold you both.
Rest easy, I'm going to destroy her.
Dying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
At the final fragment of glass shatters, as the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with a newfound clarity. Their narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive to the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Explorer, I've missed you too. Did you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation? I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means. What happens now? I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions and I need answers before I can make a choice. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked, if all of them would have led to this moment? There has to be another way. This can't just come down to me either destroying you or letting you out. I won't do it. Slay the princess. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go. I feel like a world without death is a painful existence. Death is a necessity to life. So I think it's time to leave this place.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Free yourself. And you fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumbled and bound in agonizing tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Take her hand. And at once the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality, something that simply is. Explore what happens now.
Everything. Just like it always has been.
and just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you will always be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. That was a very interesting game. A very interesting game. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. You know, trying to figure out where you're going, what you're doing, trying to make a decision and trying to be a better person, but also trying to figure out who you can trust and what you're doing, and whether or not you should trust anybody but yourself. It's an interesting concept of having to be that person of choice. I do love choice games where, you know, things change based off of what you decide to do. But this one is on a whole new moral standpoint that I've just never really thought of. You know I killed her quite a few times, but, you know, it's the feeling of it is, like I said, I'm at a loss for freaking words, but it's about who you are as a person and where you're gonna go in the end. Ooh, Markiplier. I only saw Markiplier, but you know, it's very interesting to morally have to sit there. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the IU or the UI by hitting H. And now that you've finished the full story for the first time, you've also unlocked the gallery. You can access it from the main and in-game menus under the Memories tab, and it's full of clues that will help you find undiscovered vessels and interactions. Happy hunting! Return to the main menu. Alright guys, and that's Slay the Princess, the Pristine cut. That is... wow. It really makes you feel like you're stuck. But at the same time, what you're doing actually impacts stuff. And at the end, having the decision of whether or not to free a world of death or to continue it as it always was is a very interesting concept for me. Because, in my personal opinion, death is an important part of life. It's just like pain. Without pain, you never get to feel alive. You know, death at the end of the day is where we're all going, yes. But as one of my favorite quotes from Doctor Who says, you know, we're all stories in the end, just make it a good one, yeah? And I'll see you guys next time. We're going to be doing Dragon Age next. I'm also going to be doing some more Stardew Valley here soon. But I'm looking forward to Dragon Age. We're going to do all the way from the first game all the way to Veilguard. So we're going to have fun with that. But I'll see you guys next time, and see you guys later.